Hello, it is Kelly back with another process video. Today I am scrapbooking a 2-page layout using sketch number 16 from Scrapbook Generation, Allison Davis's sketch class, 6x6 paper pad sketch class. I kind of quit on this class a while back just because school started and I really just didn't feel like I had time to do it, but I have a whole bunch of pictures from a recent trip to the lake with my family that I wanted to get scrapped. So I love that those 2-page sketches have, a lot of times they have a whole lot of photos. So this was one that I really wanted to use. I liked the way I liked the design of it and the photos that I had to go with it. So I am using a collection I showed just a few minutes ago. I don't have it in front of me, and I can't remember the name of it, but I do know it is from Pink Paisley, and it's kind of like an outdoorsy type collection. And I just found patterns that I felt like coordinated pretty well, but was a good representation of all the colors. That oar paper at the bottom, those are like canoe oars. It has all the colors of this collection. So, and I'm going to be creating like a line of pattern across the 2-page spread, and so I wanted all the colors to be represented in both in the big square and in the strips going along the center of the layout. So this is the left-hand page the right-hand page of this 2-page spread. And that's where my main focal photo will go on this particular page. It only calls for this one photo, but I end up using this one and another tiny picture. The majority of my photos are going on the left-hand side of the page. So, and you will see that coming up here shortly. And I made the pencil mark just to try and help me keep my strips lined up going all the way across. Oh, and I wanted to say real quick, Allison Davis has a new 6x6 paper pads sketch series class coming up, and a lot of people missed out on the last one and they were like, oh, I wish I would have joined. Well, this is your chance to join a new one. So all you have to do is purchase, and I will link it below, the sketches, and you will automatically get to join into the group. I think if it's not too late, I might have to. By the time this layout comes out, that's probably going to all be false. So I'm sorry, just scratch everything I just said, because I think that class will be the deadline to join the class will have already passed. So sorry about that, but you should still purchase the sketches because they're pretty awesome and very useful. And Allison Davis is very, very talented. She's a very talented scrapbooker. I love her style. She has a lot of good ideas. So I will link her sketch, and I'll link this Scrapbook Generation store down below. So as you can see, I'm just alternate. I just kind of created a pattern with these strips, and I just lined them up across the page. And this is a very busy layout, but I actually really love how it turned out. This is I would say it's not really my style. I put my style on this layout. I mean, by roughing the edges up, and I feel like that's kind of my signature thing that I do. I like that look, the definition of the edges of the paper. I like it to be, it gives it more dimension. So I enjoy that look. So it's, it is kind of my style, but normally I wouldn't go with this many different patterns. But so I stuck fairly closely to the sketch, but I also added a whole bunch more photos than Allison did. Just because I had a lot of pictures of this event and I wanted to use them all. So I made room for more photos than what the actual sketch calls for. So this was I don't get to see my son as much, of course, as I would like, because he lives in Oklahoma and I live in Texas, so we're pretty far apart. I mean, it's about a 9 to 10 hour drive to go see him, so I don't get to see him as much as I would like, especially during the school year. But we meet halfway. We in either like Fort Worth or Dallas, or in this case, we met at the lake, which is at Possum Kingdom near Breckenridge in Graham, Texas. So our family has a lot of land down here and stuff, and we have a place on the lake, so it's a good meeting place for quick little impromptu visits. So this past Labor Day weekend, we got to get together, and my daughter and his girlfriend, and then our whole family, my cousins and aunts and uncles, and my mom was there. So it was a really fun weekend. And I want to go back. I already miss him, and I miss the lake. We had a lot of fun on this trip. So I'm going to go ahead and give all of these photos a small border or small photo mat, just to help them stand out a bit more. Because if I would have just placed them directly on the pattern strips, I feel like they got lost in all that pattern. So this just gives them a little definition and helps a little contrast, helps them to stand out a little more on the page. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I went to go get trim because I wanted something to cover up that seam. And that's what I go with there. I love that border. It's so useful for like these rustic type layouts. I'm using Fabri-Tac. It's really good for like ribbons, and it's a little bit messy. That's the only thing, but I know once I stick this down, it's not going anywhere. So I trust this adhesive. Probably not good for your photos, but I doubt that it's acid free or archival, but I just don't worry too much about that. And maybe I should, but I don't. So I really love how that looks. I feel like it gives that a little bit of separation from all that pattern. So this layout, it took probably 2.5 hours to finish. Well, this part right here probably took about 2 hours. I leave, and just once I start embellishing, I leave for a little while. I had some things that I needed to get done. And so I came back to it a little bit later and finished embellishing it. So I would say total it took a good 2.5 hours to complete. Just because it's one of those kind of fussy layouts with all the cutting the strips and cutting the banner pieces. Took quite a lot of time. But I'm really happy with the end result. So it was worth the time. And I just turn on videos or I turn on music, and it doesn't feel like any time passes, you know. It's just an enjoyable way to spend a Saturday morning. Very relaxing. I don't really scrapbook that much during the week, just because when I get off work, I'm tired, and I just I don't feel it feels like work on those days for some reason, to go back there and get stuff out and have to clean up, because I'm not the type to like once I clean up after every layout. So I can't handle a bunch of mess on my desk. I'm much more creative whenever I have a clean slate to work on. So I clean my desk, I put everything up, and then I'll start a new layout. Just, I don't know, I'm weird like that. So yeah, I was just going to test this family wood veneer piece, but it got these from Tuesday Morning a while back, and it has super strong adhesive. So whenever I tried to take it up and move it, it was going to rip my picture. And so I just was like, it's just meant to be. It's going to stay there. So it's there. And it actually, I'm happy with it. So I found these sunflowers at Hobby Lobby not too long ago. These little miniature flowers, I talked about them in a previous video. They're like my new favorite thing. And I got them in all kinds of colors. But the sunflowers, I loved those because in one of the tiny pictures at the top, there's like a field of sunflowers right behind my mom's RV. And I thought the little sunflowers were perfect. So that is it. I'm done with this layout. I appreciate you stopping by and watching. I hope you have a great day. And if you enjoyed this video, I ask that you would please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you will know whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.